1. Welcome back to the channel, coin collectors and history enthusiasts. Today, we are diving deep into the story of the UK 1 penny coin from 1983. This is one of those coins that most people pass around in change without thinking much of it, but it has a fascinating background when you stop and take a closer look. The 1 penny coin is a small but important piece of British currency. It has been in circulation for decades, with millions minted each year. But 1983 is a particularly interesting year because of the historical context and the changes happening in British coinage at that time. Let's begin with the design. On the obverse side of the 1983 penny, you'll find the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This portrait was the second definitive portrait of Her Majesty, designed by Arnold Machin, and used on coins from 1968 until 1984. In this portrait, the Queen is wearing the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a gift she received before her marriage. It's a beautiful design, elegant yet simple, and has become iconic in the numismatic world. On the reverse side of the 1983 1 penny, you'll see the crown portcullis design. This is a classic symbol associated with the Palace of Westminster. The design was created by Christopher Ironside, and it has appeared on all decimal 1 penny coins since 1971. The portcullis itself is a gate or grille, traditionally used in castles, symbolizing strength and protection. On the coin, it is topped with a crown, which ties it firmly to the United Kingdom and its monarchy. Now let's talk about the metal composition. The 1983 penny, like other pennies of the time, was struck in bronze, which is an alloy of copper, tin, and zinc. It gives the coin that distinctive reddish-brown tone, though in circulation it often dulls to a darker shade. In circulated condition, which is what most people will come across, the coin will usually show wear and tear. The portrait of the Queen may lose some of its sharp details, and the portcullis on the reverse may appear a little smooth after years of use. By 1983, the UK was well into its decimal coinage system, which had been introduced in 1971. This penny was part of that system, replacing the old pre-decimal penny, which was much larger in size and had a different value altogether. The size of the 1983 penny is 20.32 millimeters in diameter, with a weight of 3.56 grams. That makes it small and convenient, especially compared to the older pre-decimal pennies, which were much heavier and bulkier. One important detail about the 1983 penny is that this was before the big metal change. In 1992, the Royal Mint switched from bronze to copper-plated steel, making the coins lighter and cheaper to produce. So, if you have a 1983 penny, you are holding on to a fully bronze coin. Over time, bronze coins in circulation tend to develop a patina. This is a thin layer that forms on the surface, giving the coin a darker, sometimes almost chocolate brown or even greenish tone. Many 1983 pennies in circulation today show this natural aging. Collectors often grade coins based on their condition. A 1983 penny in uncirculated or brilliant uncirculated condition can still have a bright, shiny reddish hue, almost as if it just came off the press. But in circulated condition, the coin will usually appear much duller. In terms of rarity, the 1983 penny itself is not rare. Millions were minted for general circulation. However, there is a fascinating twist that makes the year 1983 significant in British coinage history. That twist is the 1983 2-pence coin era. In that year, a small number of 2-pence coins were mistakenly struck with the old inscription new pence instead of 2 pence. While that error doesn't directly affect the penny, it makes 1983 an important year for collectors. For the 1 penny coin, most examples are very common. You could likely find one in change or tucked away in a drawer. But coin enthusiasts often keep them because of their age and the fact that they are still bronze. If you look closely at a circulated 1983 penny, you'll notice how the high points of the design, like the Queen's hair and the bars of the portcullis, are the first to wear down. This gives each coin a unique look, shaped by decades of handling. The coin is also a reminder of the economic life of Britain in the early 1980s. At that time, under Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher, the country was going through major social and financial changes. Pennies like this were being used every day by ordinary people in shops, buses, and markets. Collecting coins like the 1983 penny isn't just about their monetary worth, it's about holding a piece of history. Every scratch, dent, and worn edge tells the story of where that coin has been. As for value, a circulated 1983 penny is usually worth only its face value, 1 penny. However, in top-grade uncirculated condition, collectors might pay a small premium, usually a few pounds, especially if the coin has been well preserved. That being said, many collectors still enjoy adding circulated examples to their collections, particularly as a way to complete a date run of all 1 penny coins from 1971 onward. Another interesting aspect of the 1983 penny is that it was one of the last years before the third portrait of Queen Elizabeth II was introduced in 1985. So, this coin represents the tail end of the second portrait era. If you take the time to examine the lettering around the Queen's portrait, you'll see the Latin inscription Elizabeth II DG Reg. FD 1983. This translates to Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen, Defender of the Faith. In a circulated coin, those letters may still be readable, but often they can appear slightly flattened or smoothed out, depending on how long the coin has been in use. Collectors sometimes enjoy finding coins where the inscription is still crisp and clear. In conclusion, the 1983 UK 1 penny coin may not make you rich, but it's a fascinating little piece of numismatic history. In circulated condition, it carries the marks of its journey through countless hands, shops, and pockets. And for collectors, that makes it worth far more than just 1 penny. It's a story frozen in bronze.